These videos will explain the interface used on the Vitotronic 200 control and how to use the various menus. In part 2 of this video series, we will look at the traditional Viessmann HC heating loops and scheduling. In part 1, we covered the startup wizard. See part 1 of this video series to look at the initial commissioning stages of the control. In part 3, we will examine the service and diagnostic menus. If you select No Zone Circuit in the wizard terminates, taking you to the heating circuit home screen. Heating circuit 1 is always present in the control, even if zone circuits are configured. If you don't want heating circuit 1 to influence the control, you can defeat its functions. How to do that will be covered later on in this video. Zone circuits and heating circuits are different. Heating circuits are always weather compensated and are not usually used with thermostats. Room control for heating circuits is normally done via the optional Vitotronic 200 or 300A room controls. These work on the Viessmann KM communication bus. Heating circuit 2 and heating circuit 3 will only be available if the mixing valve module hardware is detected. Heating circuit 1, heating circuit 2, and heating circuit 3 data is available inside the heating menu. Use the arrow keys to switch to a different circuit. If there are no zone circuits or if you have reassigned the home screen, this is the traditional view. Here is the information on the home screen. Heating circuit operation modes, the time of day schedule status, current outdoor air temperature, current room temperature set point. This represents a virtual room set point unless a Vitotronic is in the space to provide room temperature feedback. The current boiler water temperature, the burner on status and percent output. If there is an SM1 solar module installed, this symbol will appear on the roof of the house. Other symbols that may appear will be frost protection, party mode, and eco mode. Let's look at what's inside the extended menus. The extended menu button is at the bottom of the keypad. If zone circuits were not configured, the menu level will look like this. If zone circuits were configured, the menu level will show zone circuits in addition to the other menus. It is possible to have systems with either or both heating circuits and zone circuit loops, plus DHW. Next, we will look at some different heating circuit, zone circuit, and combined system layouts. This will give us a better idea of how the two different type systems are used. In the first example, heating circuit 1 is the higher temperature loop without mixing. Room input is by the optional Vitotronic 300A device. Heating circuit 2 is a lower temperature loop with 100% mixing. This requires Viessmann mixing valve hardware to be enabled. Room input is by the optional Vitotronic 200A device. Heating circuit 3 is also a lower temperature loop with 100% mixing. Again, this requires Viessmann mixing valve hardware to be enabled. Room input is by an optional Vitotronic 200A device. Now let's look at a similar layout using zone circuit loop setups instead. Zone circuit 1 is a high temperature loop without mixing. Room input is by a standard room thermostat. This provides start and stop function from the space temperature. Zone circuit 2 is a lower temperature loop with optional third-party thermostatic mixing. Room input is by a standard room thermostat for start and stop function. Zone circuit 3 is also a lower temperature loop with third-party thermostatic mixing. Room input again is by a standard room thermostat for start and stop function. A heating circuit zone circuit hybrid system example will combine both zone circuits and heating circuits, mixed or non-mixed loops, in a combination with thermostats and optional Vitotronic room inputs. Heating circuit 2, because it's 100% mixing, provides 100% control of the downstream temperature. Zone circuit 2, the thermostatic mixing valve, only provides a maximum limit temperature for the loop. All of the loops can have their own outdoor reset set point. The boiler will use the highest set point given from any of the active loops. If a zone circuit thermostat stops calling for heat or a heating circuit goes into a setback mode, the next highest set point in the system will take over. The boiler control can manage up to 6 individual set points from 6 individual heating loops, plus domestic hot water, with the correct hardware. All of the pumps shown in this example, plus the boiler pump and domestic hot water tank pump, are controlled by this boiler with the proper accessories. Let's take a quick look at how we control these pumps. Inside the boiler, 2 modules, the power pump module and the EA1 module, can look after 3 pumps. Each of the mixer modules used for HC2 and HC3 can handle one pump each. And the optional AM1 pump module expands it by 2 more. The pump assignments are as follows. The boiler pump is output 20, the domestic hot water pump is output 21, the heating circuit 1 pump is output 2820, the heating circuit 2 pump is output on mixer module 1 designated 20M2, the heating circuit 3 pump is designated on mixer 2 at output 20M3, zone circuit 1 pump is 157, zone circuit 2 pump is the AM1 A1 module, and zone circuit 3 pump is the AM1 A2 module. Now let's dig further into the extended menus. Pressing the extended menu key will give you access to the submenus. This is where settings where heating circuit loops are located. All installed heating loops can be accessed by using the arrow keys as shown on the display. Party mode is a setting where the normal occupied phase can be temporarily extended for a period of time. Economy mode is the opposite of party mode. The current occupied phase will end early, placing the loop into a reduced mode immediately. Economy mode remains active until the next occupied phase begins or it is terminated manually. Room temperature set point is the occupied room temperature setting. If a Vitotronic is not in the space, it is a virtual setting used as a guide. When a Vitotronic is in the space, it is a real room temperature setting with feedback from the space. A Vitotronic device reads the actual space temperature, but unlike a thermostat, it does not shut the loop off when the room reaches a set point. Instead, as the space temperature approaches the setting, the control will reduce the loop's water temperature. The goal is to add only as much heat to the space as is required. The result is to maintain a more stable and comfortable space temperature. The reduced room temperature set point is the unoccupied room temperature setting. The installation of a Vitotronic will determine if this is a virtual or real room setting with feedback from the space. Operating program sets if the loop is active and if DHW will be used along with its operation. The options are the same as the ones we saw in the heating circuit home screen. Heating time schedule is the time of day schedule for the heating circuit. The default setting is 00 to 2400 for all days, meaning there is no setback. Up to 4 occupied and 4 unoccupied time periods can be set for each day. Holiday program is similar to economy setting. It will place the loop in a reduced mode. Reduced mode will be held 24 hours a day between the 2 calendar dates. Heating curves for heating circuit loops are always weather compensated. Like the zone circuit loops we saw in part 1 using weather compensation, slope and shift values need to be set, and that can be done inside this menu. As pointed out earlier, in every configuration, heating circuit 1 is present. Heating circuit 1 can be disabled in a couple of ways. One way is to set heating circuit 1's heating curve slope and shift settings to the minimum. Slope set to 0.2 and shift set to -13 Kelvin. The result is the set point for heating circuit 1 is kept low. Another way is to put heating circuit 1 in standby mode in the operating program menu. The DHW menu has 3 functions: DHW set point, DHW scheduling, and DHW recirc pump scheduling. DHW schedules follow the heating circuit schedules, unless individual is selected in the DHW time program menu. Test mode with the symbol of a ladder on the top hat places the burner into an emissions test. The burner will start and go to high fire to allow for a combustion analysis. The information menu provides read-only access to information within the control. The settings menu is where functions like time and date, language, screen brightness or contrast, temperature units, etc. can be set. The name for heating circuit menu allows customization of the long name tags for heating circuit 1, 2, or 3. Inside main menu, you can set which loop is displayed on the home screen. Any one of heating circuit 1, 2, or 3, or zone circuit 1, 2, or 3 can be set as the home screen. In part 3 of this video series, we will examine the service and diagnostic menus.